Real talk, the metaphor messiah, man. I got this one. Let's go. You ever seen the morning star? Mr. Metaphor Messiah, back to show you who we are. I represent a legacy, a pothead like the 70s, a different kind of mind. They say we only speak in melodies. Legend in the game, I think I found a solution. Got a crazy kind of flow, I need a verbal.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Dead on Dave, coming at you live from Germany. And we just watched Monday Night Raw. That's right, we got another episode of Monday Night Raw into the books. And while it wasn't as bad as we have seen at certain times during this 4-week stretch of essentially SmackDown domination, this was not either a fantastic show. The best parts of the show were minor highs at best. Nothing that really gave Raw anything to stand out on, except for one main thing, and we just saw it at the very, very end of the show. I love that Chris Jericho won the United States Championship. Now, I don't love what that probably means because I think we all know what's coming. Roman Reigns is going to win the WWE Championship, Universal title, excuse me, at Royal Rumble. And that's fucking unfortunate because this is the beginning of my nightmare scenario. And we saw other things happen on tonight's show that is kind of leading into my nightmare scenario. Now, if you don't remember, my nightmare scenario is Roman Reigns recapturing the title, The Undertaker winning the Royal Rumble, and John Cena beating AJ Styles. Now, the reason why something like this could happen is simply WWE overreacting to a ratings downfall. Now, they're going to ignore the fact that ratings always tend to go tumbling during the time that the ratings did tumble like it always does. However, the drop was a little bit more substantial because at this time, TV is so different. It's being consumed in a different way. And more than likely, somebody in the back, if I had to guess, Kevin Dunn, maybe even the old man himself, is like, well, you know what this means. Real simple. Kevin Owens and AJ Styles, these small independents, they can't carry the show. So he goes back to the tried and true method of a John Cena, even a Roman Reigns. Like him or hate him, he's polarizing. Vince likes that. And then, of course, The Undertaker winning the Royal Rumble. It's a nightmare scenario for me. It truly, truly is. I just can't even deal with how bad that would be. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay. Not a big deal because we're here to get through it all. We're going to talk about everything that happened on Monday Night Raw. We're going to talk about most things that happened on Monday Night Raw. A lot doesn't even need to be addressed. And this is not going to be a long review. I'm exhausted. I had an epic night earlier tonight with my main man, Tommy C ColossalisCrazy, and of course, Mr. Vega, the complete team of Catch 33. We had an epic show earlier. I hope that you did not miss that. So I'm exhausted, man. I'm exhausted. I'm so tired. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get through this I don't even know where the fuck I am. We're going to get through this Raw review as painlessly as humanly possible. I'm wearing my Link ears for power. I hope you guys like it. Big shout out to everybody in the chat who's here with me. Frenchie Ben, he's moderating all you guys. We got Fake Ass Twat Pittsburgh Boy, Boss Gamer, Jama Ahmed, Mark Dat Boss is up here. What's up, buddy? Isaac A. Sleeping Angels is here. Mad Money Mo, Simi MFC is here. We got all kinds of people hanging out. I see Sarah Small and Sam Harlock. Guy behind the microphone, Guncannon, the man who makes all my graphics. He's here. Casey McLaughlin. Pittsburgh Dick is here as well. Diego Nolasco. So many more. We got all kinds of people, and I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Let's go ahead and break protocol because, as you guys know, when this guy calls, I answer. He's my good buddy. He's my pal. He's the beacon of positivity. The one and only. The man out of North Kakalaki. Tommy NC 2010. What's up, buddy?
Yes, I am the one and only beacon of positivity. And Dave, you are the copious one
Yes.
of Catch 33, and I have to say, I cannot wait for the match to get strict and burn this whole entire YouTube drama field down with Catch 33. I am so excited. Woo!
Well, I appreciate that, Tommy. I'm glad that you're so excited, and you obviously cannot hide it. It sounds like you're about to lose control, and you know what? I think I like it. What do you got for me as far as Raw tonight, Mr. Tommy? I know you didn't watch. You didn't watch it.
Yes, I watched it.
Okay.
I barely kept my eyes open watching with some of the boredom of watching the show, but, you know, it was decent, you know. And I'm like, the Undertaker's, I have come out, and I have decided to be in the Royal Rumble match.
Don't you like the Undertaker? Aren't you an Undertaker fan? And besides,
I'm a fan.
Boy,
he's a good
I
wrestler,
am the Lord
but he
of
does
Darkness, Tommy NC 2010. I will dig your hole and take your soul, boy. Now, if you think you can walk into the dead man's yard and take what is his, you have got another thing coming, boy. Yeah, all right. So yeah, it was look, his promo wasn't awful. I thought that actually it was kind of one of the highlights of the night, if I'm being completely honest. I just don't want to see his old ass take 27 minutes to the ring and then win the Royal Rumble.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
That's what I'm saying. Undertaker needs to be at WrestleMania. He just needs one match. He doesn't need to be in that with all those people and stuff like that. If they need to put him at the end. He comes out, he gets thrown out of the ring. You know, like that's what we need to see. We don't need to see Undertaker getting the snot kicked out of him and then honestly thrown out of the ring in the first part of the match.
I know he's
going
to win. He's winning it, Tommy. I'm fairly certain now. He's winning the goddamn Rumble, and we're getting Cena and him for the title at WrestleMania, and it makes absolutely no sense because Undertaker's not winning that match. It's so ridiculous. If he's going out on a loss, why make it for the title against Cena? It doesn't need to be. None of this makes sense. And I have a scenario that I think can flip everything on its head. I'm going to make a video on it in the next 2 days. It's very convoluted, but it's also very plausible. Tonight complicates things a little bit because they really did seem to set stuff up, but there are a few caveats, and we're going to talk about all that. I do have a video, and I think we're going to have a good time with that. Tommy, what else you got for me, buddy?
You know, I just want to say, Dave, you are doing an amazing job with your show. You have defied subscriber limits. You have done an amazing job. The Dead on Dave show, you have just completely blown off the charts. You're flying off the shelves.
Yes.
And the one thing is, and you just can't teach that.
That's right. You can't. Enzo Amore, and you can't teach that. Yes, 100% right. Tommy, tell the kids where they can find you real quick so I can get you up out of here.
I am the one and only world heavyweight, MTV's made, Comedy Central's champion of the world, king of positivity. I am the one and only Tommy NC 2010. You can find me at youtube.com/Tommy NC 2010 and Twitter and Instagram, Facebook, Tommy Talks. And let me tell you something, folks. If you want to see Dead on Dave back on Tommy Talks, put one in the chat because we want to see Dead on Dave back on Tommy Talks and possibly Catch 33, the Dead on Dave, Tommy C ColossalisCrazy on Tommy Talks for a first-time interview before they could, maybe after they're done doing their first episode. Do you want to see this happen? Let's do this.
No. 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 I'm going to refuse it. I'm going to be the obstacle standing in the way. I am not going to let it happen. I will not let it happen. I don't really care if it happens or not. I'm pretty tired at this point. I'm just kind of out of everything. I'm sleepwalking through the world, Tommy. But you know what? I love you, buddy, and I appreciate the call as always. You have yourself a really good night.
You too, buddy.
Peace.
Keep yelling on so fast.
Peace with chicken grease, always in the Middle East. Keep your clothes on unless you're solo in the shower. Palestinians hate the Jews. Jews hate the Palestinians. Make sure you keep it all copious. Take it easy, buddy. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I love Tommy NC 2010. He's my man. I don't want to go on that show again, though. I don't want to go on the show again. I'm tired. Tired of everything. I'm too busy. I'm too busy, man. I got so much going on right now. I'm rocking things with the Andre Corbeil. I'm on Vince Russo's channel. I don't have too much going on. I have just enough going on right now. I feel if like one more thing gets thrown on my lap, then the whole world's going to fall apart. Look, I could sit here and I could talk about what I didn't like about Raw. You know, I loved the Shawn Michaels thing. I hated the fact that they had to go with Rusev in that situation. I hated the New Day stuff. It seemed like everything that was going to be important got undervalued, and everything that was frivolous was going to get overproduced. And that's what we got all night. So like I was saying, I'm just kind of feeling like with all of that, with Raw and everything being what it is, that if one more thing got thrown on my plate, it would be too much to handle. And maybe I don't like Raw because something else did get thrown on my plate today. Now I'm going to talk to you guys like family, because you guys are my family, and I love you very much. I'm having a hard time today. Yes, I had one of the best days of my life when it comes to YouTube stuff. My God, it was great. However, one of the days of my life as a father of a daughter that I've been dreading for a very long time happened today. My daughter became a woman today, and I'm not dealing with it very well. Oh my God. She's been a little asshole like the last 6 days. Really couldn't figure out why. I mean, like, why was she this big of an asshole? Well, we found out tonight, and I'm very upset. I'm on the verge of fucking tears. I can't deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. She's going to get up in about an hour, and I got to deal with it. Oh, my God. She's not even 12. She's not even 12, guys. I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time with it. And I need to talk about it. I didn't talk about it on Catch 33 or the show, but man, I really need to talk about it, man, because it's like eating me up. She's not even 12, man. It's like, Jesus Christ. Oh. Don donated $4. Thank you. Apparently you can go buy maxi pads with that. Hey, they finally make an appearance on your stream, and I'm here to stay. Don, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Oh my God. I'm trying not to fucking, lose my mind over this entire situation, but it is what it is. Look, let's go ahead and get through everything, and let's take your calls on what you thought of Monday Night Raw, because I don't give a shit. Let's go ahead and hit it hard. 347, you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
Hi, Dave. What's up, man?
How you doing, buddy?
What's going on? So, Dave, this is the first Monday Night Raw I watched in probably a little over 2.5 months.
Yeah.
And I thought it was an okay show.
Really?
But there are some moments that got me really, really pissed off. Like, one of them, I just heard you talking about Cena and Undertaker. I'm not even sure that shit's going to happen.
Oh, it's
because
happening.
as you
I'm convinced of it.
No, really? Why did they have to show Braun Strowman, who is literally fighting Roman and Goldberg, and then all of a sudden...
Herring. It's a red herring. They're just trying to fuck with your head now.
But if that happens, I'm going to be very disappointed. And if that's his last match, I'm going to be even more disappointed. And second of all, this part got me really mad. When they announced WrestleMania, I didn't know this, but I found out tonight that it's going back to New Orleans. Makes no sense. You were just fucking there. Why the fuck did they need to go back?
Wait a second. Why the fuck are you upset about it being in New Orleans, man? It's a good place to fucking
I'm
be.
not upset. They should change like places.
When they were there, what, for 29, 30? So it's been a few years? What's
30.
the big deal?
4
okay.
years.
It'll be 4 years. So who gives a shit? It's a great venue. It's a great town. It holds a lot of people. Well, what the fuck? Of all the things to be mad about, that's a bizarre one. It's like, I'm not mad right here. You were pretty mad.
I was a little pissed. Yeah, because like I've never seen this before, where they would go like usually they space them out like a long period of time before they go back.
Orlando seems to happen quite often, man. Orlando seems
Madison Square Garden happened 20 years after the first one, and what else happened a long time after it? This year, isn't it this year that Didn't they do one in Florida?
Orlando. I think it's Orlando again. It's in Orlando all the fucking time. It's like it feels like
All
we're in
the
Orlando.
time.
It feels like we're in Orlando like every 3-4 years.
Orlando or Chicago or California, all the time.
Well, because
Somewhere out there.
those places have the venues, the size, the city, the population to hold all of those things. It makes sense. So I don't know. I think that's a stupid thing to get mad about, and it has nothing to do with Monday Night Raw. You douche nozzle. You have anything else?
And wait, and Dave, one more thing.
What?
Dave.
No.
So what did you think of HBK? Whoa.
I thought you were pandering.
What did you think of him hinting at coming back?
He
Dave?
didn't hint. He shut it down. He didn't hint at all. I saw people like freaking out because he hesitated for a second. But if you listen to what he said right afterwards, he said, I'm gonna show you how to stand up to peer pressure. That's what he said. He said, don't peer pressure me. Hey kids, I'm gonna show you how to stand up to peer pressure. He's not coming back. He's not.
All right, Dave. Thank you for your time, man. I hope have a good night, man. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Take it easy.
Peace.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
Let's go ahead and get yourself up in here. Let's take another caller. Max, you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
Hell yeah.
What's
All
up,
right.
buddy?
I'm just going to do a quick snazzy question. So I'm just a person that I would used to watch wrestling back in the day, right? And I sort of become detached from it. I want to get seeming as you're just pretty, compassionate about what you do. I can tell that. I would like to get your opinion on like what drags you towards the show, because like the moment I found out that it was sort of staged, and what sort of makes you want to watch it? Is it the fact that it's kind of like reality TV, or the action? What sort of draws you to the show?
The athleticism. I enjoy television shows, and this is a great television show. I mean, all TV is fucking fake, so fake doesn't bother me. It's unbelievably athletic. I like the violence. I like the movements. I like some of the backstage stuff. I love the interviews. I just love everything about it. I've been watching this since I was like 4 years old. One of my earliest memory is my dad sitting me on his couch, fucking putting on Crockett Cup and just sitting there for hours, just going, oh. And to this very day, it still makes me go, oh. Now, granted, not as frequently as it once did, but it still does it. I love it. I always have. I love the larger than life personas. I love the promos. It's a passion-based industry. It's not like something you do for financial stability. I mean, a lot of these guys who become professional wrestlers never make it big. They toil away in obscurity. There's something kind of poetically beautiful about that. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I love passion-based industries, and wrestling is one of the top ones for me.
Is there like a story behind it? Is there like a behind the scenes story? Because I've stopped watching, and when I was little, I didn't really comprehend anything beyond the punching and the kicking and whatnot. Is there behind like story modes between the characters and they put on a persona?
Yeah, characters. Yeah,
there's story arcs between them, sort of during the show.
Absolutely. I mean, there's rivalries, there's grudges, there's romances, there's back turns, there's backstabs, there's friendships, enemies, vendettas. I mean, there's all managers, fucking all kinds of stuff, contracts. I mean, they put everything that you would expect in life. I mean, it's a lot of fun, and when it's done right and done well, it's some of the best entertainment that you're going to get. I mean, I'm not even just saying that because I'm a wrestling fan. It's just when it's done really well, and you're watching two guys that are not actually out to hurt each other, but look so much like they're hurting each other, and your disbelief is suspended for that moment, and you're enthralled in this thing that you did not think you could be enthralled in anymore. It makes it all worth it, man. I love it.
All right, man. Cheers for the answer. I really like that. Okay, I might call another day then. Congrats with the success in Catch 33 and 6,000 subs just today. I think it was, or was it today? Yesterday?
Yeah, today.
Congrats
we hit it today, and we've gone past it already. It's fucking insane, man. This is nuts. It's been one of the craziest nights of my life.
All right, good on you, man. Keep it up.
All right, buddy.
Work.
Take it easy, and I appreciate that. And have yourself a good night. I'm going to throw you over the top rope.
Yeah.
Boom. There you go. Good stuff. Max is a good guy. I appreciate. Good question too, because he wasn't setting me up. I like that. He was asking me a real question. That's very cool, and I very much appreciate that. Okay, so what else happened tonight that just bothered the shit out of me? The New Day stuff kind of bugged me, dragged on. So next week it'll be Big E, and then Big E might lose. I don't know what's going to happen. Let's take another call. I don't care. Let's take another call. C-Man, you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
Well, first off, congrats on 6K, man. That's awesome.
Thank you very much. Well, I got a congratulations to everybody that's been around this channel for a long time, sticking with me for as long as some of these people have, and getting to see me grow and see me change or whatever the case. Just seeing me evolve a little bit with, new equipment and new styles and all kinds of things. I think it's just a fun journey for all of us together. So I got to thank everybody, man. You guys are incredible.
I've only been around for like 3-4 weeks, so.
Well, you know what? You call in and you support the channel just as much as any of the rest of them, and I appreciate. Hell, in the last 4 weeks, you've seen me grow over 1,500 subs. So
yeah, damn. Yeah. Second, fuck Discord, dude. I was so upset earlier.
Hey, the thing was, we got through a lot of people that just simply weren't calling, and our conversation that we were having were so good that we didn't need to keep going back to the calls, but we did get some through. I'm sorry you didn't get in.
It sucks. Like the first time I called Tommy, I couldn't hear him, and then this time he couldn't hear me, and it's just like, why does Discord, like, what's so fucking complicated with Discord? I feel like they intentionally have it so that when you get into the call, it mutes you right off the bat, and you have to
put it right up your pooper, man.
Yep.
Discord, they like to stick it in and break it off. It's just how it goes, man. You got anything wrestling related, anything Raw related at all?
Yes, HBK's segment was absolutely trash.
I think some of it was. Basically, the Rusev stuff was bad. HBK on his own, I thought, looked great for one. He's my favorite of all time. You know that. I love me some HB shizzle. He was great. I thought some of his mic work was a little spotty at times, but it wasn't awful. It's just they always got to put him in there with somebody like that, and I didn't really care for that stuff. But the Sweet Chin music still made me go, oh yeah! So that's all I need.
They all night it seemed like they're fucking trying to force these mainstream media connections, and it really, really does not work at all.
Yeah, in some ways, they do. But you know what? The thing is, they continue to go to it because it does continue to work. Hell, they got people hosting fucking good morning shows. You got people in mainstream movies. I mean, the reality is, for as much as we might hate it, it makes some money, and a lot of it.
I mean, like, they referenced the Emma Stone Golden Globe shit like 3 times, though. That's a little ridiculous.
Well, she's in that movie with Shawn Michaels, so that's why they referenced her 3 times.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that part. Did you notice that Taker decided to swallow a big fucking loogie when he said the word peace? Like, I was rest in peace. Like, that was fucking
That was great,
disgusting.
man. I loved it. It's like he ate a cockroach and was like, I got to eat this now. Rest in peace.
Yeah, dude, that was just fucking weird. Great, he picked the worst time. He literally picked the last word of his promo to swallow back that loogie.
Yeah, it was great. I love that shit. That was hysterical.
Well, man, that's all I got for you tonight.
Well, I appreciate the call as always, Mr. C-Man. It's always nice to hear from you. And you have yourself a good night. And over the top rope you go.
You too, homie.
Take
Peace.
it easy, buddy. Homie G-Funk. Funked out with a gangster's worst. I'm trying not to be super loud. I don't want to wake my wife up. She's getting pissed off because her head is like right here. It's like right beyond this wall. She's not far away. And I feel bad. And I don't want to wake her up. But at the same time, I'm doing a show, bitch. What you got to do? You ain't do nothing. You behind the wall, sucker. You behind the wall, sucker. You come out here. If she comes out here, I'll shit myself. I swear to God. I will shit myself if she opens that door right now. Absolutely full-fledged diarrhea, shit all over myself. Not good. Let's take another caller. 480. You're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
Roman, new champ confirmed. Good God.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, maybe if your boy didn't suck as fucking champion, this wouldn't have happened. I'm blaming Kevin Owens. In fact, I'm just gonna blame you.
Yeah, that's
fair.
That's not out of the realm. I'm accepting it. He's been no good. But I said,
oh God, I kind of feel bad hearing you talk like this. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, well, what am I going to do about it? Absolutely nothing. Yeah, it's Jericho and Owens for the U.S. title at Mania. Pretty sure about that.
Yeah, that's unfortunate too, isn't it? My God.
AJ and Kevin both back down to the mid-card, it seems.
Well, they didn't draw, man. You don't draw, you don't draw. And the fact is, WWE doesn't feel like they're drawing. I mean, AJ is drawn. AJ is drawn. It's going to be unfortunate that AJ is going to drop that belt to John as well. But because he really doesn't deserve to drop that belt. He's done such a great job. But it's all part of the bigger plan. I think he's going to be promoted to Monday Night Raw. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think AJ is going to go to the Intercontinental scene at Mania too.
Actually, I got a feeling we're going to see him in there with like Samoa Joe. I got a feeling they're going to do it now, and I don't know how I feel about it, but I think it could be good. I do have a scenario that I am going to talk about that I think could flip everything on its head. It's not as unlikely as it's going to sound, but it's fucking convoluted as shit. I'm not even going to lie about that. Unbelievably convoluted.
If AJ and Joe does happen, you got to think Joe's got to win that, right? I mean, you could, but then AJ's going to lose 3 pay-per-views in a row,
and he would be losing both of his first 2 WrestleManias. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. It's a difficult situation.
Yeah,
it's a difficult.
Can you
one.
imagine if Kevin and AJ both lose twice in back-to-back Manias? That suck. That would really be bad.
Yeah.
But
what else you got for me?
I mean that match was terrible.
The match is, that's the thing. Once again, the wrestling wasn't awful. I mean, I can't sit here and really bag on the wrestling too hard. The Roman Reigns match wasn't great. It was pretty bad. Now that I'm really starting to recall it a little bit, it was pretty bad. But overall, the wrestling didn't kill me. But there doesn't seem like there's a whole hell of a lot of it tonight.
Yeah, I mean, like that Kofi Kingston Titus O'Neil match. What was that?
Garbage. That whole segment was fucking garbage. Jesus, I'm starting to let's break up the New Day. I'm just tired of it. If you look, I don't want to break up the New Day, but if you're gonna put him in there with fucking Titus O'Neil, you might as well break up the New Day. What's the point of having him anymore?
2 commercial breaks for that segment. Wow, that was unbelievable.
All right, man, your audio sucks, so I'm gonna let you go.
All right, see you.
Take it easy, buddy. Have a good night. We're taking your calls, your questions, your hopes, your dreams, your quips, your quotes, your loves, your hopes. I don't even fuck. I'm tired. We're going to take a couple more calls. Then we're going to talk a little bit more about Raw. Then we're going to get the F up out of here. Call in now on Skype. David Vancura, DavidVancura. Or use the number 702-751-2902. Let's talk about the women. The women got a lot of highlight tonight. I didn't feel any of it was necessarily fantastic. I thought they missed a couple of opportunities in the tag team match. But overall, seeing Nia be dominant really for the first time is something I can get behind. I want to see more dominance out of Nia Jax. She is unbelievably just hazardous, man. She just wreaks havoc on everybody. I love it. And I want to see more of it. So I didn't hate that aspect of it. But it just feels like there needs to be some more building of Sasha Banks with this either leaving to SmackDown, which is what I'm hoping is going to happen, or just a full-fledged heel turn, if not both. Let's take another call. It's Sloth Jizzly. You're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
All right, Dave. Are you too worried about your channel dividing like how Tommy's did with because he did you?
Not even one bit. I'll tell you why. I'm a little bit farther along than Tommy was when his explosion happened. I was about triple the size of Tommy when all this started going a little bit faster for me. My wrestling audience is a little bit bigger than his hockey audience was. And a lot of people from the drama side, because I'm not a full-fledged drama channel. I never will be. I'll just talk about drama stuff every now and then when I want to talk about it. But I'm still just Dead on Dave Productions. When I do call-in shows, I do call-in shows about whatever. I do nerdery. I do pop culture. I do all of that, which leaves room for wrestling. And a lot of people have come over from the drama and still like to watch it. And as long as I'm still getting 50 to 100 people up in here for these reviews, I'm not going to abandon that demographic. Because here's the deal. If I wasn't doing this, I wouldn't be doing another show in its place. I'd be the fuck asleep. So it's not like this is taking the spot of something else I could be doing better with my time. Because I'm still doing Dead on Dave lives almost each and every single night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So what the fuck does it matter? Because people might not want to associate with me because I'm a wrestling channel. Well, guess what? They can eat my dick if they don't want. Well, he does wrestling, so fuck him. Eat me. To each and every one of them who fucking leaves because of that reason, they can tell them they can suck my copious cock, because that's a fucked up reason not to fucking like somebody's other content because they do wrestling. Like, I think that the fact is I've been able to succeed, and I use that term very fucking loosely, by the way, as far as I have to this point, because I am who I am. And I'm not going to change. So if I start making changes like that, I'm not saying Tommy made the wrong choice, because hockey's just, it was too small of a demographic to hold on to. And he made another channel, and it's just becoming a little bit too much. What I'm saying is that this is just who I am, and I'm not changing that.
Do you think you'll do more drama shows now that Catch 33 and all that? Do you think you'll do more drama shows than you do, Raw reviews and stuff? Do you think that will happen though?
If it's the same thing as you've been seeing the last couple of weeks. If there's an interesting topic that is like intriguing me, like fucking Keemstar and Scarce, or like a Zoe Burger situation, or whatever's going on that is actually literally intriguing me, not fake intriguing me, not something that I'm like, I'm just going to do it because it might get some great views. I'm not going to say that's never going to happen, but it's going to be rare. I got to care because I think people can get what I do from almost anywhere else. People, I think, stay with me because they could tell that I'm passionate about what I talk about. I don't think people come here and go, that guy's fake as fuck, because they wouldn't be sticking.
Yeah. You're very charismatic. Like, I'm a little scared to say this, but like, I already like you better than Tommy, really.
The rage will be coming your way, sir. Careful. He's gonna fuck you up.
He's gonna kick me off his Discord and everything.
He's gonna move you to his Discord. Yeah, I just told a really funny joke.
Shit.
It was funny.
Oh shit! And I messed up today when I talked to Colossal.
Well, that's
I said, instead of friggin' SoundCloud, I said Discord when I was talking about the Pip Lad series. And I was like, oh shit, why? The only time I ever get to talk to Clown, I mess up. But anyways, yeah, thanks for taking my call, Dave.
Hey, no problem, Sloth. I appreciate it as always, and you ever have a really good night, buddy.
All right. See ya.
All right, so we are taking your calls. You guys can go ahead and feel free to call in a little bit more. I'll take a couple more before I get up out of here. I'm trying to look at fucking everything that happened on Raw tonight and trying to find some things that really were unbelievably positive, and I can't come off with too many of them. I think maybe the best thing that happened tonight was probably the Undertaker segment. I thought the Undertaker segment was really great. The looks by Mick Foley and Stephanie McMahon were fantastic. They did a really, really nice job. But the announcement's underwhelming because it feels like everything is getting set up for fucking crap, just complete. You know what's going to be going on. It's going to be so fucking predictable. And I am not one of those guys who thinks predictability is necessarily a death sentence, because I think as long as it's done well, it doesn't really matter if it's predictable or not. It's fucking pro wrestling. However, this predictable, it's hard. Let's bring in the guy who does all my graphics. This channel doesn't go without him. It's my main man, Guncannon. You're live with Dead on Dave. What you got, buddy?
It wasn't horrible.
It wasn't horrible. I didn't want to kill myself.
No. I managed to stay awake for parts of it, at least the parts that were slightly interesting. So
there you go. That's something.
I gotta. I'm not digging where they're going with the tag teams with Gallows and Anderson and Sheamus and Cesaro.
They're slow burning it too much. It's too much of a slow burn.
It's go or don't go. Go or move on. That's literally.
And right now they're the only two tag teams on Raw. There's no other tag teams. Nobody else. It's just them. The New Day is doing something completely different. They're doing anything but wrestling. It seems like they're focusing on singles type competition within the New Day at the moment. Nobody else is doing shit. It's just those two teams. It's like the tag team division, I feel, should have never been broken up between the two brands. Should have had one champion that goes between both shows, and you have the division belongs to everybody. Same thing with the women. I just don't think that either brand or either division was strong enough to stand on its own. It's proven to be right. Singles divisions, sure, do it all day. It's not a big fucking deal. But the tag team division just is not fleshed out enough, man. We're seeing that in spades.
Yeah, and as much as it's nice to see somebody else going up against Charlotte, not Bayley. I'm really not feeling Bayley going up against Charlotte.
Their booking is so weak. Getting dressed down by Stephanie all the time really takes a hell of a lot of wind out of her sails.
Yeah, and I think that's them thinking that they're going to, this will work. It'll totally get her over with. No, she's already got a place with the crowd.
Hang on one second. I'm sorry. I got to respond to something, and I usually don't do this very often. Look, I understand that a lot of people say that I defend Tommy C a hell of a lot, maybe more than I should at times, but it's usually about things that we're morally aligned on. I don't think people know how much Tommy and I actually do disagree and fight. I think you'll see it more in time to come. However, PVS Sweetie Pie just said, don't feel bad for Tommy. He knew Cumstar was a cunt and what happened. Tommy is no better. He defended Tommy NC 2010, and Leafy and Keem attacked him, but it was just about getting exposure. Let me tell you something. That entire situation with Tommy NC 2010, a guy that I personally have been defending for over 2 fucking years. The first interview I did with Tommy, I found out something fucked up somebody in the wrestling community did to him. I called him out. I had no subs, no nothing, and it started a little bit of a thing. No one ever said anything about it, that it was me who kind of started that. I didn't give a shit. Tommy doesn't give a shit about exposure when it comes to Tommy NC 2010. We've lost team members over Tommy NC 2010. We've lost friends over Tommy NC 2010. We've started fights. We've gone to war over Tommy NC 2010. Not because we think we can get something out of it, because at the time, if you remember, Tommy NC 2010 was a 5,000 sub channel. There was nothing to gain. It was because we know Tommy better than most people know Tommy, okay? And we know that he should not be subjected to some of the things that he's subjected to. So no, it's not about exposure when it comes to Tommy NC 2010. I fucking love that kid like a brother, and I know Tommy does as well. So I don't usually take time to respond to something like that, but that actually bugs the piss out of me. He got fucking unbelievably lucky with that situation. That was no plan. Hey, I'm gonna defend Tommy NC 2010, and then he'll blow up and explode, and then I'll blow up and explode. That's fucking retarded. It makes no sense at all. That was never the plan. He was a 5,000 sub channel when Tommy fucking defended him against Leafy, and even before that, Duck Studio or whatever it was called. Hey, Jesus Christ. And then fucking Tommy expressed his emotions on fucking camera, and he blew the fuck up. Tommy was, and then so Tommy C just stuck with it at that point because he was just continuing to fucking defend our friend. And if you don't want to believe it, I don't give a fuck. Go back and watch the goddamn timeline. You'll see it for yourself. If you want to hate on Tommy C for a lot of things, go ahead, but his loyalty towards his friends certainly isn't fucking one of them, okay? There's a lot about Tommy C that you can fucking pick at. Is he a little too vicious? Abso-fucking-lutely. Does he need to let some shit go? You bet your fucking ass he does. But loyalty towards fucking people that he knows needs defending, that is not one that Tommy should ever be defended on. And that's the last I'm going to say about it. All right.
Good on you.
Regina Weber's a stupid cunt, by the way. He's actually fucking bothering piss out of me, and he's going to think about his life choices, or she, or what the fuck ever. That actually, I'm stupid. You're fucking stupid. How about that? You want to go to stupid name calls? Fine. You're stupid. Eat a dick. How about that? All right. What else you got, Guncannon? Jesus Christ.
Raw was good. And I'm kind of interested to hear your take on this because, well, everybody else has been fucking talking about it. And frankly, I think these people need to stop talking about it. The John Cena post.
Oh, yeah, the Kenny Omega. Oh, God, yeah. Jesus Christ. Look, let me fill everybody in on a little bit of secret here if you don't know. Kenny Omega's not leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's not. He's taking some time away. His contract ends in January, January 31st, by the way. So he's not showing up at the Rumble. All right, get that out of your heads. It's not fucking happening. Kenny Omega made some posts to fuck with people. By the way, we are a month removed from when he talked very, very viciously about the WWE, about being a cog in a machine, or something he would never want to do. He makes unbelievable money on the independents, and he's coming into his prime. He has no reason to go to WWE right now, and there's a pretty big tournament coming up in Japan in March. He's not going to miss that. Is that the G1? Yeah. Guarantee you he ain't missing it. Guarantee you he ain't missing it. So he'll be around, and he's gonna come. He's gonna take some time off till March, and then he's gonna fucking enter the tournament, and that is what's going to happen.
He's gonna do what he normally does and go play Street Fighter. God damn it!
Exactly. He's gonna go be. He's gonna go be Kevin. He's gonna go be Kenny Omega for a little while, and that's completely okay. He's got no reason to go to WWE right now. Could it happen? Sure. I could be completely wrong. But it just seems like this is one of those things where he's fucking with people like he usually does. John Cena has done this a lot over the past few years. A lot. And none of it sticks.
Yeah. It just, as soon as people started talking about it, it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? There's no way in hell he's coming. No way in hell.
None. I wouldn't mind it, but like right now it just seems when he's seeing other independents, especially undersized independents, kind of not be utilized in a way, he's not going to have anywhere near the creative control that he has everywhere else. Nowhere else.
No.
So why would he come? It just doesn't make sense to me at this moment. 2 years, 3 years down the line, sure. When he wants that big paycheck, sure. I think he might do it, but not now. He just came off the match of his life, man. He could literally write his own ticket now. He can write his own ticket. He can print money in New Japan. Why make the change? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And I mean, if he's going to wrestle anywhere, I'll tell you the truth. He's going to go to Ring of Honor.
Potentially, yeah. But well, I mean, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, it's small enough. They work in association with New Japan. He can continue to work with probably less of a schedule, so he can go over everything and then go from there. That's probably the closest you'll see him in North America.
Yeah, more than likely. I don't see TNA being able to come up with the money at this point. That doesn't make a lot of sense. WWE is still an option. Don't get me wrong. He can change his mind. He's got a very good friend in WWE and Xavier Woods. I mean, so you never know. But to me, when everything is the way it's playing out, the way that it looks like it is, with a huge tournament coming up in Japan, it just makes sense for him to probably win that fucking thing, because that's a pretty prestigious thing to win. So.
Yeah, he's the first non-Japanese wrestler to actually win that tournament.
Yeah.
So
So that means no non-Japanese wrestler has ever gone back to back or ever won it twice. So
yeah,
he can definitely make history. We'll see what he does.
Yeah.
Anything else for me, Mr. Cannon of Guns?
No, I got my raw feelings out. I asked you the pertinent question that people continue to think is true and totally isn't, and I think that's pretty much gotten the
Oh shit. Sorry, Gun. Fucked you up there.
Right.
You still there? I cut out on you. Sorry about that. All right, Gun. I appreciate you. Have yourself a good night.
You too.
Take her easy. Good stuff there. Try to take a call. It didn't work out. Let's take another one. 575. You're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
Hey, Dave. This is Steph.
How you doing, Steph? What's going on?
I've tried calling them a few times from last time. I was the one who mentioned AJ Styles and Kenta Kobayashi.
Yeah, I remember you. I couldn't forget this voice.
But anyways, what my question is, do you think that the WWE will ever be able to pull Jay Lethal from ROH, or is he just spiteful towards them?
I don't think he's spiteful towards them, but I don't think that WWE has a whole lot of reason to bring him in. I like what Lethal's done.
Well, why not? Hold up. Well, why not? I think Jay Lethal has a lot of charisma, and I mean, look at him in Ring of Honor right now.
Yeah, it's a different talent pool in Ring of Honor. I think a guy like Jay Lethal, who up until this run was a jobber, a glorified jobber most of his career.
The same can be said for Jeff Hardy, though. Because back
Jeff
in
was very young,
2000,
though. But Jeff was young. Jay Lethal's not young anymore. That is a big problem, and he kind of late bloomed. We're talking about a guy early in his career in TNA and such, where he was just a comedy sideshow in a lot of ways with his Macho Man impressions and all of that type of stuff. I'm not saying he's not a great performer, but they have a version of Jay Lethal and Kofi Kingston, and we all seen how far Kofi's gone. So I don't know why Jay would want to come. Just saying.
That is true, and Kofi's got the ups.
Yes, he does.
I've never seen. I mean, as far and maybe you can help clarify this for me. But who is the wrestler that they got to replace the original Sin Cara?
It was Hunico who replaced Mystico. Mystico was the original Sin Cara.
Yes,
Hunico
I'm very familiar. Well, living in New Mexico, I'm very familiar with Lucha Libre. We have a lot of local shows that go down, and I've seen Sin Cara, or El Mystico, if you want to call him, versus Avion.
Yeah.
And that's probably their biggest rivalry there. But, living in the area I do, I see a lot of Lucha Libre, which kind of inspires me to watch the indies. But I've seen what the WWE is doing with NXT, and it's just amazing to me.
I love what they're doing down there with that. It feels like a completely different product. You know, it's like NXT feels so different than everything else that they're producing. And it makes you ask, why can't they do it in other places? I think there's one thing that kind of explains it in a better way than anything else. Performing in front of 400 people and making them go crazy is a completely different thing than performing in front of 14,000 and making them go crazy. So it's a little bit different needs. It's a different crowd down there in Florida. So it is a little bit harder to gauge if what's going to work long term and in
right. Well,
crowds.
that's why Adam Cole's popular.
Yes. And Adam Cole is a guy, and I think Kenny Omega is probably a guy as well, that could make that transition very, very easily. They're kind of complete packages.
Oh, exactly. Well, let me say this. I'm a big Adam Cole fan for the fact that he makes an amazing heel.
Yeah. I agree.
You know, and the biggest thing that made me an Adam Cole fan was a couple years ago in Ring of Honor. I don't know. I think he was fighting Kevin Steen, and Kevin Steen literally knocked his teeth out.
Yeah.
And there was blood spurting out of his mouth, and he finished the match, which shows he's dedicated to the company.
He's a tough bastard. There's no question about that. I mean,
you know, so but I do watch a lot of indie wrestling, Dave, and I wanted to say thank you for supporting our country. And you've actually inspired me and my friend because again, we live in, the southwestern part of the United States where wrestling's a little different here.
Very much different.
You've inspired us to start our own Lucha Libre podcast. It's going to air on Thursday.
Awesome.
It's going to air on Thursday. I just made a channel. Right now it's called The Comic Book Keeper because I'm going to be doing a lot of comic book reviews because I'm a fucking nerdy bitch.
I like that too. I'm a big comic book guy myself, so that is awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Let me know what's going on with that, and I will make sure I get behind it and support it a little bit because I like you. You're a fantastic speaker. And I love your knowledge in wrestling because I think that your knowledge in wrestling actually is far superior to mine. I have no problem. And I'm sure you're the same way in comic books. So I
believe
fully
this
support
is what I think, Dave. I think with the WWE, you know a lot more than I do. I know a lot about the indies because, I watch CZW for Christ's sake.
I don't watch everything. I do watch a lot of stuff. I don't watch every episode of every independent, though. But I do. I keep in.
Have you ever heard of the? Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good. I do it too. Don't worry about it. That just means you're going to make a great host.
Right. Have you ever seen the CZW Tournament of Death?
Bits and pieces. I've never sat down and watched an entire one over the course of an entire tournament. I've never done that.
That was where I first discovered. Skinny John Cena. What is his name? Drew
McIntyre?
Drake.
Oh, Drake. Okay, gotcha.
What's his name? I'm sorry. I'm spacing.
No, Drake. No, I thought you were talking
Drake
about
Younger.
Drake Younger. I thought you were talking about Drew McIntyre. Fuck me.
No. Drew McIntyre came from Scotland over in the ICW.
Yeah.
But Drake Younger. That is to I saw him in a Tournament of Death. He did a scaffolding match. And it was the most terrifying thing I've ever seen.
That's pretty good stuff. Fox Goodman, by the way, I wanted to ask the name of your channel again. So somebody wants to know the name of your channel again. What is that?
If the name of the channel is Comic Book Keeper, you can just find me. Here, I'm going to type in the chat just my name so people can, I guess, see.
Well, there you go.
If my computer will work because, I have shitty Mexican internet.
That's not good. Yes, the hamster on the wheel, which is always nice. It's probably better than my German internet.
There we go. I'm just going to say hi to everyone in the chat. My name is Seth Grimm, by the way.
Oh, awesome. And I wish you nothing but the best with your podcast. If you want to check her out, she's right there, right in the chat. Go ahead and click on her name. Comic Book Keeper is her channel. Thanks for hanging out for a few minutes.
It's my second channel, I guess, because my first channel was just a bunch of stupid music playlists.
That's good stuff, too. I appreciate the call, and you have yourself a really good night. And I'm going
to I wish you the best. I wish you the best of luck on Catch 33. I'm looking forward to it. The last Nerd and the Jerk was fucking amazing.
Thank you.
I really like Nerd and the Jerk. That's kind of becoming one of my favorite shows on your channel.
It's one of my favorite shows too. It's my passion project. I love that show.
And if I have Fridays off, I'm going to be calling in, and because I just love the content you do. Like I said, I'm a nerdy bitch.
Well, I am your guy then, because I am one nerdy motherfucker. So I appreciate that. You have
All right,
yourself
well,
a
Mr.
fantastic
Copious
night.
King, you have yourself a good night and throw me over the rope.
I will gently lay you over the top rope, okay? Land on them 2 feet.
You got it. You have a great night.
She's so cute. I like her. She's cute. All right, let's take it. Maybe this will be the last call. 917, you're live with Dead on Dave. Oh, what you got?
Yo, Dave. I'm noticing the last couple of episodes of the show, you've been kind of like, during the Raw reviews, you've been kind of like in and out, just been kind of like nonchalant. Are you tired, or you just don't give a fuck about Raw as much?
Raw, it's not that I'm, look, Raw sucks the last 4 weeks. It's been hard to get through. I don't think I've been putting in any less effort. There's just less to talk about. So when there's less to talk about, I got to fill it with other stuff. I've got to give other things to it. I got to grab more animals off the back. I got to talk about my daughter becoming a woman. And I got to fill it in other ways because, simply put, it's not entertaining to sit here and just say Raw sucks. So, it's not easy to do, and it's even harder to do at 6 o'clock in the morning. So I'm sorry if you feel my quality has gone down on the Raw reviews, but, it is what it is, man.
Yeah, I'm starting to realize on Raw, like, I guess I realized it for a while, like, they had Taker and HBK come back, and the big reason why it's so interesting for these guys to come back and what makes them draws is because it's the same thing that makes the Smarks want to still watch John Cena, even though they hate him. It's because when they're on, something important is going to happen. Why can't they make something important happen with all of the top guys that they have to make them seem important?
It's kind of funny. It's a double-edged sword because fans don't feel about them the way they feel about Taker and Shawn Michaels and John Cena. They just don't. Being over is one thing, but being over in the way that a John Cena is, or an Undertaker is, or Shawn Michaels, a Stone Cold, a Rock, it's a different world altogether. So when a guy like that comes on screen, they command a different type of presence because fans know that there's something legitimate about them. The story writing becomes a hell of a lot easier because there's already a connection to build off of. When you have a guy like Kevin Owens who can be very engaging, but also kind of off-putting in a way to some wrestling fans because it's kind of weird. I love Kevin Owens. I think he's one of the greatest in the business working today and over the last 5 to 7 years. Fantastic. However, his over-the-top shtick that he does, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, a lot of these guys are guilty of the exact same thing. It does tend to not allow them to go to that next level of being able to grab the audience by its nuts and let them know something important is going to happen. I mean, what's the difference between a promo of Braun Strowman saying he's going to be entering the Royal Rumble and The Undertaker this week saying he's going to enter the Royal Rumble? Well, answer
because
simple.
You care that The Undertaker is going to be entering the Royal Rumble.
Exactly.
You don't care because, bro, that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I've been watching Raw. It feels like all of these feuds, they just all seem like mid-card feuds. Like even the world title feud just seems like a big mid-card feud. I can't tell the difference between Sasha versus Charlotte and New Day versus Titus O'Neil.
Yeah.
It's just like I don't understand what they're doing with that. I don't know why they're not getting enough time. It seems like, they're having, and I think the reason we're seeing more of these guys these matches between these guys who are feuding, before it would be, they may have one match in like a tag team, and then the rest of the month would be them in certain angles and promos to build towards the feud. But now we're seeing them face each other every week because these angles and the promos that they're doing every week just aren't interesting. So
they're not.
What are these guys good at? Wrestling. So we put them in the ring, and even if it spoils the match that they have the pay-per-views, like, so what? And I think that's just a bad way to do business.
It's ineffective because when you have these guys around each other so much that when you want that payoff, well, now you've seen almost everything they can do. If it does feel like, and I didn't think it was going to be a problem, but it does feel like, mainly because there's no depth in two divisions with the women and the tag team, that the rosters, even in the singles, are not flushed out enough with the brands. Now, I think this could have easily been fixed with just one tag team division and one women's division. I think we would not be in the same place that we would be if that was the case. It's, we saw tonight some segments with top guys or close to top guys that lasted 5 minutes. And then the New Day and Titus fucking O'Neil gets like 15 to 17 minutes. He picked up a beer keg and ran around a fucking ring, for Christ's sake. Why? So they can make fun of an old, like 12-year-old joke about Deshaun Jackson? Just like, that makes no sense to me. That's a disconnect. And I don't know if it's false, not false narrative, or if it's false motive. I don't know what it is, because they believe that the New Day is basically infallible because of their merch numbers and because of the fact that they can draw the way they do and because of all the cheering and chanting that they get with everything. But these guys aren't untouchable, and you keep putting them in there with a fucking albatross like Titus O'Neil, and you see what happens,
I mean, the solution is rather, with the brand split, before I get to the point I was about to make, I knew as soon as the brand split was announced that we wouldn't be seeing any real improvements on Raw or SmackDown. Well, so SmackDown surprised me. I didn't think SmackDown would be as
SmackDown's
good
been
as it is
amazing.
now.
SmackDown kind of fucking blows a hole in everyone's argument, because SmackDown the last 4 weeks especially, now granted, it took a while to get going. Last 4 weeks, SmackDown's been booked fucking immaculately. I mean, wonderfully. You notice I'm not bored during SmackDown.
Right. But neither brand has full rosters from top to bottom. And I think that's a big problem. And I think what people don't realize is we shouldn't be expecting to see truly full rosters not until maybe a year or two from now. Maybe 3 years.
I'm not sure about 3 years. I'm thinking more like 6 months. I think they're going to have a real opportunity to kind of reload some of this and retool, because right after WrestleMania, I'm anticipating another draft where they're going to make some fixes where they need to make. That's why we haven't seen any trades, because I feel like because trades would have been so easy to fix some of the problems that they've had, right? Why aren't they doing it?
No, absolutely not.
Oh,
absolutely not.
I think so.
Because
they could have done it right at Survivor Series. Easily. I can tell you exactly what they were.
The issues that are been going on with Raw would still be there no matter who was on Raw.
I disagree with you.
Undertaker,
I'm telling you right now.
HBK. Yeah.
Go ahead.
You have Goldberg, HBK, Undertaker. You can put all these guys in there who are bigger stars than anybody in that company, and that still does not make Raw better. It will not make SmackDown better, which makes SmackDown better. It's because it's being written by a lot of wrestling minds, A. 2, has the 2 hours, and B, they fix a lot of the inherent issues that have been wrong with WWE product. But it doesn't matter what guys are on the brand. It will still suck if the inherent issues that have been going on for the last several years are still there. That's always going to change. That's always going to be that way unless things change. You can pay. It doesn't matter who you put on Raw at all.
I disagree with that. I'll tell you why. I think that there was a change they could have made at Survivor Series that would have changed a lot of things inherently, because it would have forced them to change the way that they're booking things currently. I think if they would have moved the entire Cruiserweight division over to Survivor Series, especially with 205 Live right after, it would have made a hell of a lot of sense. You bring the Intercontinental Championship over to Raw, and now you have 3 singles titles on Monday Night Raw. You have an entire division that are able to go after 3 titles that actually matter. You're going to have feuds all throughout the show. You can book it that way. Now, you're right. Inherently, they have to change their style. And if they had this type of move where you get rid of the obligatory 6-minute cruiserweight matches that really aren't impressing anybody on Raw, much better done on 205 Live, and would be able to be in a much better conjunction if it was on SmackDown. And then you're able to transplant that with a fully flushed out Intercontinental and United States Championship feuds. I'm glad they got the belt off of Roman tonight, but we all know what that means subsequently. But that's because of the fact that there's no other options. If you have 3 singles championships on Monday Night Raw instead of this goddamn Cruiserweight division, which I understand is a singles championship in and of itself, but only like 8 or 9 people are going after it, and nobody gives a fuck about it anyway. So I just think that would have been a way better way to go. SmackDown was going to get fixed regardless. They wanted SmackDown to beat Raw at least once. I'll tell you what, for all of the knocking on Undertaker and Shawn Michaels and all of that type of stuff, I'll bet you dollars to donuts that the goddamn rating is going to go up again from last week, which went up from the week before inexplicably.
Oh, hell yeah, because, look, it's HBK and Shawn Michaels. It's HBK and Taker, so of course they're going to go up. Yeah. It's for business reasons. It makes sense to have those guys around, but I don't know if that helps the long-term product at all.
Well, no, but at the same time, these guys have an expiration date, so it's right. If they're still able to get a little bit of tread out of the tires and still get a little bit of money into that bank account, do you fault them? And I don't know if you can completely, especially when there's no other guy that is knocking on the door and saying, this is mine. And we can make the argument all day whether that's by design or if it's by just simply not having that type of talent. I don't know.
Right.
I
but
really
the fact
don't.
is it's happening anyway.
Yeah, because there's no other organization on the planet, at least not North America, that you can really gauge somebody's superstardom. Even when you talk about things that happen in Japan, reactions do not translate. You look at Gallows and Anderson, man. The reactions they got in fucking Japan were unbelievable. God, the American audiences don't give a fuck about them. And they did the exact same shtick when they came over at the beginning, and nobody fucking cared. And it's unfortunate because those two are badasses. So it's.
You just gotta fire the writers. That's the solution. Fire those damn writers.
It might be. I don't know what the solution is at this point.
You have the talents, you have the bright minds. People could say what they want about Vince being out of touch or whatever. Vince McMahon he's still one of the best promoters in history of the business. Maybe the best and one of the brightest minds we've ever seen in this industry. You gotta fire the damn writers. And I don't know why it's such a big deal when you have all the bright minds like in the back, like Pat Patterson and Arn Anderson and Scott Hall working there. And
the funny thing is, the problem is, it's these goddamn fucking smart-ass motherfucking fans. Because no matter, they'll make changes that smarks want to see, and it'll get booed. They'll bring in guys that smarks beg for, and then it'll get booed. And it's but here's the thing, because the smart fan base is so small, it's not what's paying the bills. They can't pay attention to it all the time. So it's a tough fight. Like all smarks, a good majority of them, they're not buying a whole hell of a lot of merch. They're certainly not paying for the fucking network. They're watching streams. They're stealing the product. They just are. Or they're in forums and they're getting their information from other fucking smarks. The kids are buying the network. They're getting their parents to buy the network. They're getting their parents to buy them fucking t-shirts. That's the reality of it. So they continue to acquiesce to them. And they keep getting proven right every time they put the belt back on Roman Reigns and John Cena when the ratings go back up because the kids are more interested again. It's frustrating. It really is when you get older. That's why I try not to overthink it too much, and I just try to go off of the simple fucking credentials. Am I entertained? And more often than not, I tend to find things that I'm entertained with in the ring. It does get harder with Raw as of late. Last 4 weeks, it's been really hard.
Vince McMahon once said that no matter what, if you put on a good, entertaining show, no matter who's complaining, no matter who's bitching, no matter who's moaning, people will watch and you will make money. So I don't really understand. So that philosophy holds true. I 100% believe that. I don't care if you're a smart or a casual fan. You put on an entertaining show, but people are still bitching when they watch because they're doing it now when the show's pretty bad.
Yeah.
So I don't know where that philosophy has changed, but I think if they got back to that, I think the shows would be better.
I can tell you exactly where the philosophy has changed because it's been proven to not be 100% true. Because they put on all these fucking really bad shows, and yet I believe the goddamn stock is trading at $20. It's like, what do you do? It's like, okay, we can literally put out anything we want. Roman Reigns still at the top of the merchandise charts. John Cena's never there, still at the top of the merchandise charts. We can bring in guys with fucking abortions to the business like James Ellsworth, top of the merchandise charts. It's crazy. It's because the rules don't apply anymore. The rules don't hold true like they used to because WWE, when the last time their ratings were this low was in 93, 94. But guess what was different? They were on the verge of bankruptcy. They're not now. They're fucking printing money. They're making more money right now than they did in the Attitude Era. And that's saying something. It's ridiculous. JBL, the other night, I don't know if you watched that shoot show that they did, that half shoot show that they did on the network. JBL put out the full financial. I loved it too. It was too scripted, but I loved it too. JBL put out the full financials of WWE. He did it fast, but he put out the full financials. Staggering amount of money. Staggering amount of money. I couldn't believe that he put out those numbers, and they're completely checkable, and they're true. Accurate as fuck. He basically put out that WWE yearly is making about $650 to $750 million. Fuck me sideways. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, the business model is different than it was 20 years ago, absolutely. So,
yeah.
And I think, if I remember, around that time, there were a lot of controversial things going on with Vince, with steroids and allegations and whatnot. I think that definitely hurt business, and that's a little, and I think that's
also a different culture. Don't sleep on the fact that the culture was so different. Everyone's a fucking pussy now.
yeah.
I'm just saying, man, it's true.
But thanks for taking my call, man.
Hey, man, you always give me a good discussion. I always appreciate it when you call. And this is, I thought this was one of the best wrestling talks I think I've had, maybe in the history of this show. So thank you for that.
I tell you, I'm a big draw. I'm the Brock Lesnar of Dead on Days.
You're a pain in the ass, but I mean, you don't get too big for you. I gotta throw your punk ass over the top rope. Good fucking job. Good job, asshole. See you later. Have a good time. We'll talk to you later, buddy.
See you, man.
Good stuff. I think that we're not going to get a better caller than that tonight. That was a really good call. So I appreciate him, and I appreciate all of you guys for hanging out with the Copious Fat Man tonight. This was a great night overall. I'm sorry if my energy is low like that cunt just said, but, I don't think it's low. I think it's just as high as ever before. It's just how many ways can you say something sucks? You can't. So you got to talk about other stuff. And then we do. So I hope you guys had a good time tonight. I had a lot of fun, and I appreciate you guys being here. We'll see you next time right here on Dead on Dave Productions. Make sure you're checking out everybody in the community. Real Talk, the Metaphor Messiah. Go check him out. I feel like I say this all the time, but not all of you have gone and checked him out. So here's what I want you to do. Just real quick, either go click on his link or simply in Google, it's an amazing fucking device, type in Real Talk, the Metaphor Messiah. And you will get all kinds of shit from his Twitter, over at Real Talk Legacy, to his SoundCloud, and so much more. Go check him the fuck out, man, because he is amazing. And I really think more people need to get up in there and really go look at what he does, because he's absolutely fantastic. I see Patty Glenn in the chat. Thank you very much, Patty, for being here. It's been a while since I've talked to you, buddy. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate Frenchie Ben is here. Love me some Frenchie Ben from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. He's great, and I love him so much. Sarah Small's been great tonight. Fake-ass twat. He's a cunt, but he's here. Let's give him a timeout just because it'll be fun. We'll do that. We're gonna throw him right into, go ahead to put your ass in timeout. It'll be great. C-Man's here, all kinds of good people, and I appreciate everybody who's been here. Make sure you slap a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and remember, as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. We will see you next time. Keep it copious, folks, and a peace.